Hello everybody, Mr. Rome here. Welcome back to the Insula Populi Megacampaign in Europa Universalis 4. In the last episode, we ran one more war with the Eastern Roman Empire and was able to take pretty much all of it except for one province, these little islands in the Aegean. But they are now being attacked by Scythian revolt, so they are gonna be gone here pretty shortly. We are planning a war with Scythian Egypt. I do need a Casus Belli, so I'm gonna have to claim something here. But what I was waiting for, was our cores to finish forming for the territory we just took. And we've also been expanding our Caribbean colonies here through the islands. The Leeward Islands, I think. And so, we're going to keep working on that. And see what else happens. So let's go. You gain the conquest Casus Belli against Scythian revolts. Right, yep, because they got that. In the conquest Casus Belli against Newfoundland. Oh, that's because England just took a whole bunch of territory from the Iroquois. Potomac is preparing to attack the Iroquois. Actually, yes. Yes, we want you to do that. You gave military access to England? Martinique has become self-sustaining. Excellent. Alright then. Let's start expanding the colony. Actually, let's go with Trinidad and Tobago. We can summon a diet. Let's see here. Clergy requests we invest in the prosperity of the lands of Minorca. The nobility have been casting a jealous eye on Western Burgundy. No. The burghers request we invest in the prosperity of the city of Mahon. Alright, so what do you actually want? Base tax at least 3. We're going to do that. Oh man, we really should be building that up a bit. All right. And we completed their agenda. I mean, if you didn't attack them... Huron. We successfully managed to keep the truth from the rest of the court. It's only a question of time until it gets out until we do something. The Empress, Agrietta the First, recently discovered that her husband is having an affair. Again. Angered nobles, local unrest. Until 1626, for 20 years. Lose prestige. Alright, let's try and at least keep it quiet. We'll see what happens. If it pops up again, we're going to have to take other measures. Wait a minute, did neither of our fleets? No, neither of our fleets have an admiral. We do need to bulk up the fleet. Let's see. We can build 20 more ships. Okay. We can get 20 more ground units as well. Okay. Okay. Begin building up an army. Let's also begin building up Alright, so we're going to want... Alright, that'll bring us up, that army up to 20. Alright. One of the provinces is now cored. 30th of September is when the next one's going to be done. All right. So let's start bringing the light ships in. There it is. What I think we'll do is we'll do 10 light ships, 10 Kaleas. And then we'll see where we're at that point. Alright, the citizens of Isoki have grown tired of the local influence of the greedy Elkhanate merchants that they claim are using unfair advantages to outcompete local business. No. We're not going to take measures against our ally. What I should probably actually do is send a diplomat to improve relations. Alright, let's fabricate a claim. We'll go with Benghazi. Local militias. Many military duties are not performed by the professional armies of the crown, but rather by local militias based around the cities, castles, and forts in the various parts of our country. These militias often know the local area well and provide very good value for money as garrisons, scouts, and gatherers of intelligence, but their quality as regular troops are very varied, to say the least. Very varied? It has been suggested that we send professional soldiers to at least instruct all militias in the country, and that we rely less on them when conducting operations in many areas. This would, according to our generals, lead to an increase in quality and make us less vulnerable to things we cannot control. It would, however, also most likely mean dismissing a great number of our reserve troops. We gain some army professionalism. Manpower recovery speed goes down. Fort defense goes up. We lose 11,000 manpower. That's a bit. You know, we'll do it. Epic art produced. Our continuing patronage of the arts has led to one of the greatest works the world has seen being produced. This brings much glory to our nation. We gain prestige. East Franconia tells us of Bohemian Crystal. Alright. So, if we were to declare war on Scythian Egypt, we'll have to fight Amayrs. Which we could. Their army actually isn't that big. Scythian infantry. All right. Connaught would join. Roman Vicus Augusti would join. And primarily what I would be looking for is to get just enough war score. Well, if that's the case, we're going to have to put, I think, more... We're going to have to put more troops down there. Alright. That's not a problem. He's requesting military access from us. They were with England, East Franconia. Yeah, we'll accept. This year looks to be such a prosperous year that several of Empress Agrina I's advisors have suggested that, as a gesture of goodwill, she should celebrate by arranging various festivities for the locals. Well. Lugis are requesting military access from us. They are at war. And they're not doing well in that war either. Oh, it's the war against Thebes. So... it's not encouraging that Lugia is having such trouble. All right. Are my troops in position? Not quite yet. We have a long way to go. Technology cost down, idea cost down. Rising support among the Basco Calatayudian population. Alright. You know what? We'll promote the Greek culture. Yeah, we'll promote a couple more cultures. We can do one more. Tariffs on naval supplies. Naval supplies production is one of our colonies is coming to focus. We're gonna tax that, of course. The Pope has excommunicated. So the Pope is in Lugia. Has excommunicated the ruler of England. Yeah, because Lugia is Catholic. All right. We have a rebel uprising somewhere. Hellenic zealots. Alright, if they're Hellenic. This is the area that is Hellenic. So we'll march our new army over there. Does this new army have a leader? It does not. Yeah, we can't embrace global trade yet. All right, I think we're ready to start this. Confirm. I'm gonna pour all of my troops into Benghazi. Alright, ports are blockaded. Because we can't do anything until we get past Benghazi. I mean, I could, you know, move them navally, but... we're gonna hope that, Ilkhanate can deal with the Scythian revolt. Lack of officers. In order to keep a sizable professional army efficient, a sufficient number of trained officers are required to carry out the orders and will of the crown. However, the increased demand on quality leadership is not matched by the number of officers on our rolls. With increased demands on quality, new officers also take longer to train and are harder to recruit. We'll overcome it. Age of Absolutism. Oh, this is costing us a ton. All right. That was not a good idea. All right. We'll go Morala navies, sure. Siege of Benghazi is over. Excellent. Alright, now we can move troops in. Liberty Desire. Enable support loyalists. The policy of free trade is allowing our merchants to expand our trade. Excellent. All right, where is their army? Their war enthusiasm is medium. We have a revolt, so that is what I was expecting. Hopefully they won't get the siege complete. Yeah, we got them. All right, good. Our general died in an accident. Colony self-sustaining. Alright, well. Let's go ahead. Get the next colony started. Siege of Cairo is over. go sieging the next fort. See, our colonists have stumbled upon an amazing discovery and is a real delicacy back in Europe. The major trading houses are importing this curiosity by the barrel load. They have discovered enough to supply your empire, sire, until the end of time. Okay, but it doesn't tell me what it is. A no good opportunity when I see one. We gain straight up ducats. Or we gain some power points. You know what? I'll take the ducats. No. Okay, we can't go any further, because of the forts. There's 20,000 soldiers. Alright, here's what we're going to do. We're going to station these armies over here. Cover that flank. Angarina has fallen ill and cannot handle all aspects of ruling Iberia for the time being. How shall we handle this? For 10 years we get national tax modifier down. I'll take that. Their war enthusiasm is low. Alright. Now, let's see. Can I separate piece out Amairs? We're not going to be able to take anything, but we can get war reparations from them. Okay, so we get war reparations. We can have them annul their treaty with the Scythian revolt. Yep, send the man. Get him out of there. Alright, fine. And then we can go to you and super peace. And we're going to take all of that. Send demand. All right, let's bring our troops back home. All right, we want to start moving these troops into along the East Franconian border. Alright, and let's go ahead and mothball the forts. And we need to start making cores. Excellent. Yeah, we have a lot of overextension now. More mercenary companies are becoming available. Let's see. The clergy requests we invest in the prosperity of their lands in Cordoba. Base tax at least 8. I don't know about that. Depletion of manpower reserves is worrying the nobility. They would advocate we consolidate for a time and allow our reserves to recover. Yeah, because I'm kind of... That was a bad idea of piling all of our troops. I was hoping that was going to get the siege done faster, but it wasn't going to be fast enough, so... Settle Wisconsin. No, we'll just take the proposal to nobility and we'll just let our manpower recover. Saxony is asking us to give them ducats in exchange for favors. Sure. Alright, let's send the fleet back to port. Assault crisis, huh? Alright, separate off the light ships, select them, have them go protect trade in Ragusa. You don't have an admiral? Okay. Let's go ahead and do the same here. Separate off the light ships and have them go protect trade in Alexandria. There we go. Salt production, one of our colonies is coming to focus. We'll tax it. We have a new advisor that we need. Morale of armies. Why do I have 60,000 troops sitting right there? You guys are supposed to be marching to the East Franconian border. That was the whole plan. I know my overextension is dangerously high. We're working on it. Trinidad is self-sustaining. Excellent. Alright. Send in the next... The next colonists. I'll call arms. Hold on. Diamonds, a type of stone so durable that it cannot even be polished, safe from using its own dust, is long and the most rare of all precious stones. For centuries, India has been the only known source of diamonds in the entire world, and even there, it is only found in a few well-guarded mining regions. The discovery of large quantities of diamonds in an island in inland South America, however, diamonds have become something not only for kings and princes, but also for rich magnates, burghers, and other connoisseurs of jewelry. We gain 4,200 ducats. The price of dems drops by 50%. That's a lot of ducats. Alright. Ilkhanate, our faithful ally, is requesting that we come to their aid in Ilkhanate's conquest of Crimea against the Arsacides? Perislavel. I'm trying to recover our manpower. But this is again another one of those things of we'll accept, but how much we're actually going to participate in, I don't know. At the very least, I will send my fleets, a couple fleets, into the Black Sea to help. As far as ground troops, though, we'll see. We'll see. Alright, there's another 10 divisions. Or regiments that we can add. It's a thought. Alright, but we are at the end of... Our state agenda failed, so it doesn't matter. Okay. There's no way we're going to recover that much manpower that fast. Alright, we'll bring that army up to speed. Okay, well, we'll see how that goes when we come back for next episode. So for now, we'll stop here. So hope you guys enjoyed it. Thanks for watching. Go ahead, like, subscribe, and comment, and I'll see you next time.